How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering Northampton versus Castres, which just finished. And what a spectacular game. I don't know what's happening with the Champions Cup, but we are just witnessing amazing games, amazing high-scoring games, which is perfect for every kind of spectator that could potentially be. And we saw another big performance coming in from Henry Pollock, another big performance from Alex Mitchell, and a couple other strong performances throughout. There were a couple decisions that were made via the ref, which I didn't quite understand, and we might pick up on a couple of these in this video. But my word, what a thrashing. What a thrashing. 51-16, Northampton booking their place in the semis up against Leinster. And if they are able to play like this up against Leinster, oh my word, we are going to be seeing such a spectacular game. We saw what happened last year, and hopefully things can be, different. The Saints are so good on their day, and this is what frustrates me so much. Is because in moments like this where they play like absolute champions, and then the next game in the Premiership, they're going to end up losing 45-0. It's just so up and down, and when they're on, they are on. There were a couple players that really performed really well. Players like George Furbank, which I was so happy to see come through, and he put in such a good performance coming off of his injury. It was a broken arm, and he was just playing his bloody socks off. Obviously, I don't want him to get any further injuries. He did have a little slight knock, which hopefully, that's not going to keep him out. But again, he just keeps playing and he gets better and better. The guy is just absolutely phenomenal. And hopefully, if he continues playing the way he is, if he continues with his performances, he might even book himself a spot on that Lions tour. But brilliant performance from Furbank, banging himself a try as well in the 45th minute. But let's just talk about Henry Pollock for a second, because this guy cannot stop scoring. He is so electric. He is so dynamic. The way he moves, he runs with so much power. And the guy is just phenomenal. He is so young. He truly is a serious talent for the Saints and England. So if we're ever going to be seeing a player that is really working his way into that Lions shirt, it is Henry Pollock. I mean, you look at the headache that Andy Farrell is going to have in his selection, because you look at that back row, you have all of these amazing names, and obviously Pollock can play at a 6, a 7, and an 8, and he is just performing so well. He's going to be giving Andy Farrell a huge headache as to who he's going to take and who he's going to drop for the Lions tour. Hopefully he does take Pollock. I think it would be amazing. What a way to essentially begin his career. First Lions tour, that he's eligible for. And the guy is just playing his socks off. We saw the way he played in the Six Nations when he did come on, and he's just continuing on this form into the Saints, and boy, he is so good, banging himself 2 tries. It would have been lovely to see him get a hat-trick, but what more could you want from someone of his age? It's absolutely ridiculous. I would like him to tone down that showboating a little bit at the end in terms of his celebration for the try scoring. But other than that, what else can you say about the guy? Absolutely brilliant performance. And again, keeping a player like Pearson out of the squad, right? And then Pearson just so happens to come on and bangs himself a try as well. Basically telling everybody, look, I am not gone. I still have some serious talent, and this is what I'm capable of doing. Just broke that line so quick and straight on through. So let's break down these scores. Obviously, Northampton 51 tries from Freeman, solid, giant winger, so good. Langdon 14th minute, Coles 32nd, Furbank 45th, 2 from Pollock 48th, 62nd, and then finishing off the game, Pearson with a try in the 78th minute. Conversions from Smith, and then 2 penalties from Finn Smith as well. And then we see in terms of Castres, 1 try from Fernandez in the 26th minute, converted by Fernandez, and then 3 penalties from Fernandez, giving them 16 points. So, yeah, this game was just dominated by Northampton. Castres, they did put in a couple good performances. They really tried their hardest. They managed to break the Saints quite a few times, put them under a lot of pressure, but ultimately throughout the game, they just couldn't handle the Saints. They were just too strong, too well drilled, and they didn't. The Saints actually made a surprisingly little amount of mistakes, which is lovely to see considering you look at the past games, they were hitting double digits in terms of handling errors, which is something you don't want to see. I am hoping that we are seeing a lot more of Furbank coming through and solidifying that attack for the Saints. So it'd be lovely to see him continue on that form. But Northampton coming off of 3 losses to Sale, Leicester, and then Ealing in the Rugby Cup quarterfinal, which I really wasn't expecting. But yeah, super, super strong performance. There was an issue where later in the game, this is a decision that I'm not completely clear on why it happened. There was an issue with Pollock getting fouled. Obviously, he stayed there. I think it was after a tackle, he ended up staying. The Castres players tried to push him off, obviously legally, and essentially try to hit him. And then I think Maya Vanua jumped in and tried to take people off of Pollock. What ended up happening was I think they got 2 yellow cards for Castres, and then Maya Vanua got a yellow as well. So I didn't see anything really wrong in terms of that, in terms of a Saints player making problems. But maybe that's just me. I want to hear what you guys have to think in relation to that, because I don't understand why the Saints players got why the Saints players got a yellow. But ultimately, it is what it is. It was late on in the game. Castres really weren't. They didn't have that many chances to get kind of back into the game. But ultimately, yeah, there were a couple stupid decisions. Well, I wouldn't say stupid decisions. Decisions that I didn't completely agree with in terms of the referee. Um, some of them were pretty controversial, but ultimately, I am just happy that the Saints managed to get a win, a very strong win. Like I say, this weekend so far has just been high scoring rugby. We saw Leinster put through, I think it was 52 points past Glasgow. We saw Northampton putting 51 points through Castres. And then we saw Bordeaux earlier on putting 47 points past Munster, which was an absolute cracker of a game. You might get a review from me a little bit later on in relation to that. But guys, what are your thoughts in terms of the game? And what are the Saints' chances up against Leinster? Because this is the kind of performance that you expecting when you want to be up against Leinster, right? This is the kind of performances that you would kind of expect going up against the monsters of Leinster. Will they be able to replicate this? Obviously, I was kind of expecting a Northampton win over Castres. I wasn't expecting there to be any major upsets, but this is Northampton. Anything's possible. But yeah, let me know what you guys thoughts in the comment section below. I want to hear what you guys think. And do Northampton have any shot up against Leinster? Because taking consideration last year, that was a pretty damn good game. Could Northampton do a little bit better? Especially having the likes of Furbank coming back into the squad. So let me know what your thoughts in the comment section below. And please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.